Body cam footage captures the moments leading up to the arrest of a man. A seemingly modest apartment holds a man with a secret that investigators have been tracking down. Inside, they suspect he is the man they're looking for, a local Uber driver, Kerry Calvin Gassag. Tension fills the air. Officers surround the door, armed and ready. Every door like this presents high stakes, unforeseen danger, and the ever-present possibility of lethal outcomes.
U.S. Police. Show me your hands. Come on out. Come on out. Hello. Family. Don't make any fucking moves. Okay? Thank you. Everybody's okay? Uh-huh. I'm sorry to scare you like this. We'll explain in a minute. We have to do a job warrant. We're not 100% sure we're right. Hi, how you doing?
I just told you I could.
Yeah, I know. We're scary. I know, but we'll talk in a minute, okay?
Gassag's secret, which the officers have yet to reveal to the worried family, is that less than 24 hours prior, horrifying footage was captured by a tourist webcam at Key West's famous landmark. A landmark once just a symbol of joy and a place for pictures was now a crime scene.
How many people in the house?
Oh, just me and my wife and kids.
How many kids you got?
Everybody's okay?
You got 3 kids?
I'm sorry to scare you like this. We'll explain in a minute. We have to do a job warrant. We're not 100% sure we're right.
A separate call from you.
Do you have anything illegal on you or anything that's going to pinch, poke, or stab me? Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your cooperation. Sorry to scare you the way we have.
No problem.
It's part of the job, you know. You military?
No.
Were you? I just see the Freedom shirt, so that's why I'm asking.
Even with a team of armed officers showing up at his door to handcuff him, Gassag's reaction doesn't appear to be one of surprise or panic. He is calm, never once asks why, and never pleads his innocence while being arrested. It seems almost as if he was expecting this. The possible victim would not be the only person affected by Gassag's actions, however, because at the apartment, the officer must now explain the situation for cooperation from his family.
Well, we're investigating a case, okay? And
Is he like in trouble or?
his name came up in the case, and that's why we came. We got to talk to him.
What?
In the case, his name came up, and we need to talk to him. And it's something very serious.
Now the question remains, how did we get here? To get the answers, we have to go back 24 hours. In Boston, a 911 dispatcher was about to witness a terrible crime being committed on his computer monitor. That call was terrifying, not only because of the nature of the crime, but because it was done in such a public place, an iconic landmark known to attract foot traffic, kids, and adults of all ages. The investigation was just beginning. There was a crime, a perpetrator, and a victim. But this was where the challenge began. There was no name, no description, and no clues as to where she may have gone after the attack. This search would be tricky, but then a breakthrough came in the form of another phone call from a beach resort. They meet the victim at the southernmost beach resort. A 34-year-old woman was visibly intoxicated and in distress. They rushed her to the Lower Keys Medical Center to assess any injuries and for treatment. Later, investigators sat with her in her hotel room at Casa Marina, attempting to figure out all the missing pieces to the puzzle. Her story began with a simple dinner. At around 8:18 p.m., she walked from her hotel to a local restaurant at 915 Duval Street. Throughout the dinner, she had 4 to 5 glasses of wine. This was the norm for her back in her hometown of Colorado, which is important to the story. She also engaged in cannabis use during the night. During her night, she struck up a friendly conversation with the bartender. When it was closing time, she wasn't ready to return to her hotel room. She asked the bartender if he knew any good spots she could go to. And around 11:45 p.m., they walked a few blocks down to Jack Flats, a local sports bar. At Jack Flats, they joined a group of men who appeared to be the bartender's friends. The group watched the Buccaneers vs. Cowboys football game and continued enjoying the night until the game finished around 1 a.m. Before leaving the bar, the group stayed for one more drink, but that's when things became blurry. From here, her memory falters. Violent flashes and images of being assaulted near a tree are all she can remember. She couldn't identify the attacker, but did confirm it wasn't the bartender she arrived with. Police were gaining ground with the case and decided to shift their focus to the live webcam footage from the southernmost point. This gave them more than enough to work with. It showed the woman being forced behind the monument, the assault, and another key point of information: the license plate number of the Nissan Rogue. The van was traced back through databases directly to the man we started the video with, Jorge Calderon Nunez.
Did you see him last night?
When he left?
Or when he came back? I mean, what
Nuh-uh.
time did you see him?
No, we went to bed.
What time did he leave?
Oh, no.
Is that your husband?
Is he gone crazy or what?
I know it's a little frightening, but
Where's that at?
It's downtown. That's why we just want to let you know what's going on. So you do have your kids here, and it is
See.
kind of scary for us to come in. We can't tell you everything because it's an ongoing investigation, okay? But that's why some of these things that we're showing you, that's why I put it this way, like the
Well,
clothing.
at this like I see now pictures that prove something, but I don't know. Like I can't believe. Like,
you see how he wasn't surprised when we handcuffed him? At the clip.
Never asked why we were here or why he was been put in handcuffs.
I don't know, but we barely.
And I don't
we
want,
barely let
I,
go.
and for your respect, okay, I don't want to be talking in front of your kids, because your kids don't deserve to be going through this. They're back there already with their phone recording, and that's fine because I'm recording. We're all recording, so that don't matter with them, but I don't, myself, the kids are kind of small, for me to be telling you everything, but we're showing you this so you know why we're here.
We're here for a reason.
And there's a reason. We do have a victim, and that's why we were asking if we could have consent to check some of the stuff to see, and basically it's some of that stuff that he's wearing, which you confirm that he wears. That's what we were asking.
Okay, we're gonna be like out of here for you guys to do that in here. Would that be okay? I mean, I give you guys, permission.
Of course, I'm gonna get a paper for you to sign, just saying that you're giving us permission, okay?
Okay.
And then all that is us giving us permission. We're not gonna ransack your
You
house.
grab it?
Yeah, we're not gonna ransack your house.
With the wife's permission, they began their search of the home. Jackpot. They collected several items of clothing, including a blue Huck brand t-shirt and grey shorts that matched exactly what the assailant was wearing in the webcam footage. Unfortunately, the story doesn't end here, because another piece of evidence would be found that revealed that the events of that night had darker layers than initially thought. They found the victim's iPhone through the tracking feature, discarded but still functional in a gravel planter near the intersection of Waddle Street and Alberta Street. On the phone, they discovered a 7-minute video from the early morning at 1:30 a.m. The victim has no memory of making the recording, but it played a crucial part in the next part of the investigation. The recording begins with the sound of the victim hysterically crying. A male voice identifying himself as Calvin can be heard telling another man to stop what he's doing. Even with the barrage of voices in English and Spanish, one thing becomes clear: she is being sexually assaulted. The woman cries desperately for them to stop, pierce through the chaos, and Calvin can be heard ordering the man to zip up his pants. For a moment she was safe, but it would not last long. After Gosog rescued her from the first attacker, he offered to drive her home. While the woman was still in a daze from the trauma of the event, Gosog would reveal his intentions to be just as vile as the first man. He asked if she wanted to have sex with him, but when she obviously refused and further demanded he let her out of the car, Gosog instead drove her to the southernmost point buoy, where he forced himself on her. For the second time that night, she became a victim, forced to flee naked from her assaulter. Gosog was in custody. The evidence was stacked against him, and he would definitely be charged for his part in the night. But the question still remained: who was the first perpetrator? Their breakthrough came through surveillance footage from multiple businesses along Duval Street. Cameras from Margarita Villa captured footage of the victim walking alongside a man less than 20 minutes before the audio from the iPhone was time-stamped. They got him. Through investigation, they identified the first man as Jorge Calderon Nunez. He was a 32-year-old commercial fisherman. He encountered the intoxicated woman as she attempted to make her way back to the hotel. Jorge claimed he would walk with her to ensure her safety, but instead he would become the danger he had promised to keep her from. He attacked her near Flaming Street and was interrupted in his nefarious acts when Gassag arrived. The victim confirmed Nunez was the first attacker through photos, and with that, they closed in on him. After the positive identification, investigators discovered Calderon's place of work on the fishing boats at Stock Island. On September 17th, the detectives made their way through the docks at Safe Harbor Marina and spotted their target aboard a vessel. Police moved in swiftly with guns drawn to make the arrest.
Key West Police, Jorge, come over here now. Come over here now. Turn away from me. Hands behind your back. Do it now. 6'1", 110, 15.
Officer, may I grab a...
No.
Baby, mi motico ese, Mike, permítame, ese es mío. Cámate. Step down.
Guárdamela, Mike, guárdamela, por favor, mi cosa.
Here, can come on work, 1013, one in custody. Give me a 30 seconds.
Michael, ¿la puedo guardar, por favor?
favor?
¿Puedo confiar en ti? Gracias.
La licencia es tuya.
¿Y a ti?
Sí.
Ahora el teléfono.
The B5 or 6 officer of the cage car out there.
After arresting Nunez, they attempted to question him about the events of that night, but he claimed he was too intoxicated to remember anything. Then he was shown the footage from Duval Street. He admitted it was him, but doubled down on his memory loss story. He claims he doesn't remember any non-consensual activities. Even when faced with the cell phone video evidence, even with the pleas to stop and Gassag's argument with him, Nunez continued to protest his innocence. DNA testing of the victim's clothing revealed a match to Nunez, and they charged him with battery, alleging he was involved in the initial attack. The case against Gassag was even more damning. He was charged with sexual battery, false imprisonment, and tampering with evidence. He did try to claim the sexual encounter was consensual, but the clear video evidence and the victim's statements heavily contradict any of his claims. He eventually accepted a plea deal, which sentenced him to 10 years in prison, followed by 5 years of probation. Meanwhile, Nunez maintains his innocence and is currently awaiting trial. If you love true crime as much as we do, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting videos. We can't wait to share them with you.